Now that you have a base on the model, then you have the option to hollow that base. Why would you want to hollow a base? The main number one reason is to save on your resin. Okay, that's really the only reason I can think of. No, another reason that it's nice is if you do plan on putting it onto an articulator, it's nice to have the insides of your model to create some undercuts so that the stone can set in those, and it really helps with mounting. But the main reason is to preserve resin. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just click on one of these, and let me show you. It's actually really easy to hollow out a model, especially if you've been careful up until this point. The tool for it is under Edit, right here where it says Hollow. And the tool pretty much does all the work for you. Okay. Notice right here we've got the inside of this model, and if you were to click the wireframes, you can even see, you're kind of seeing the outside and the inside wireframes, but you don't need a lot of density on the inside. And so if you want to reduce the file size, you can take these down to less. Okay, I'm going to just bring them down to like 56. And the other thing that you might want to change is this right here, the distance. This is going to tell you how thick the walls of your model are. Completely up to you. Normally I put it at 3. Okay, and then that's it. That's really it. I get update, and it's going to go through and make those changes. And now you can see the inside of that model. The triangle count is pretty low for me pulling these down. The walls are thicker, and I can hit accept. Now once I hit accept, you don't really see the difference, but if you were to bring this shader over here, you can see that what it did is it made a new mesh on the inside, and that makes it hollow. Then what I do is I go under, here, let me put the shader back on. Then I go under plane cut, okay, and I typically, okay, so sometimes, and I don't know why, but sometimes that plane cut, it doesn't show me my see-through side. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just hit cancel, and I'm going to save this. I'm going to close it out and bring it back in because I would really rather you be able to see that. And so just give me a second. Alrighty. So now, after we've done that, we're going to do our plane cut. Alright, I'm annoyed. Still not doing it. Let's do plane cut. Not sure why. All right, well, we'll hopefully get to see it when we do the other side. The other annoying thing is when you can't see which one is hollow, or when it doesn't show you that one side is see-through, I can never remember which side it's going to keep and which side it's going to toss. See, it shows the wrong one. So go undo, flip this around, and then we hit accept. All right, so that is the result we were after. And hopefully when I do the lower one, we don't have that same problem. So we're going to edit, we're going to do hollow. It's thinking. I'm going to change that to 3. I'm going to change this down to 56, 56, update my hollow, and then hit accept. See how right here in the front where it got very thin, the two walls came together? That's okay. We're going to hit accept, and then we're going to go into our plane cut. See, that time it did it. So I don't know what was going on up here. But the idea here is, and this is the reason that I over extruded it, because I want to make sure that I can put my model where I want it. And again, I'm a little bit OCD, so do what you want. But see how this one, I created just a little base beyond my STL. I like to go and kind of click in a similar spot so that it's pretty even. And notice right here, everything's going to close just fine. If it wasn't, go back to the other video and watch that one, because that video is going to show you why things don't always close as they should. All right, so that is how you get a model. That's it. You're done. Okay, it's pretty straightforward. I'm going to do it again just in case you missed something. I'm going to Control V, and that hides those, and then we're going to grab these ones, Control V to show those. Control V just toggles visibility. One thing I wanted to show you on this one is that notice that if I were to go in and create, here I'll do it on this one, if I go in here and I hollow my model and I do it to the full 3 millimeter thick, even at 2 millimeters of thickness, if I want to cut beyond my model, it's starting to get up into my scan. And if I were to increase that to 3, and here we'll bring these down, update. Notice that if I want to cut into my hollow spot, I'm up onto my model. So I'm going to hit cancel. And it's an easy trick, but if I want this base to grow a little more, I can just go into my select tool right here, and I can double click on this face group that was created from the plane cut, and I can, first off, don't use this when you have your select tool. So we'll just double click on here, and then T for transform, and then you just pull it down. That's it, done. And so now we have more thickness on that base. Now we can come into here, we can do our hollow. We're going to change this to 3, 56, 56, update hollow, accept, plane cut, drop it down. First I go all the way down, then I look at the thickness of my base and decide where I want it. And we can actually put it right there at that junction between the two. I'm going to hit accept, and everything is nice and pretty. I'm going to come up here, I'm going to do the same. I'm going to pull this up just a little bit, give me some room to work with, hit accept, go into edit again, hollow, waiting. All right, and then change these. We're going to go 3, 56, 56. I don't know why I choose 56. I don't always. That's the number for the day, I guess. Update hollow. And then accept. Alrighty. And then plane cut. You often jump all the way up. And on the maxilla, what I often do is I don't want to go through my palette, but I like to go into the underside part of the palette. So I go somewhere in the middle there, and then we can reverse that. And so you see what I mean? How I'm just cutting into the palette just a little bit. I like to do that myself, but see how my entire palette is intact. Okay, so now I've got these two models that are nice and ready to print. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and give you some time to play around with that. So that now you know how to trim and clean a model, you know how to add a base, and you know how to make that base hollow if you like, and hopefully you know how to do it in a way that you can end up with a nice, predictable, and quick result.